Welcome. My name is Mary Rachel Gardner. I am the founder of the Independent Cinema Showcase, ICS for short. I'm just going to continue to share more a little bit about how ICS came to be. I went to USC to study acting, film, and business. And while I was there, I was influenced really by my family on creating my own brand and my own name, I guess, for myself, creative name and visions. And Kalisti Zoe is Greek. It means a beautiful life. And actually, I'm going to cue up another photo real quick because it's interesting timing. This is my Yaya and Papu, Konstantin Glavkidis, married Mary Maniatis, became Mary Glavkidis, and my Yaya and Papu were big influences in my life and just beautiful beings. And I'm very fortunate to have been heavily influenced by their Greek roots. And they were very lively, funny, just humble people. And it was my Papu's birthday, actually Wednesday. So happy birthday, Papu. And it will be officially 5 years since my Yaya's passing tomorrow, I believe Saturday. September is definitely a personal, meaningful time for me as I get to look back and reflect on those that influenced me, and especially my namesake. I was named after my Yaya Mary, but then also my dad's side is Scottish Irish, and we've got some Eastern European roots. And I know my dad loves to share this story with people. He could tell it better, but apparently when my mom was pregnant with me, he had a dream of the name Rachel, and supposedly, and I appreciate it, especially, we're in the theme of females and female filmmaker Friday. That's a fun alliteration. Say that 5 times fast. And so continuing on the theme of women and women that inspired me and empowered me, my Yaya Mary was definitely one. She still was a big part of enjoying art, and she still showed up to all my plays. There's me in high school. Whoa, yeah, as a senior. And oh gosh, that was Grease that we did. I remember, yeah. Kind of back to summing it up, the Kalisti Zoe productions, kind of also taking a moment to thank my Yaya, who was a big influence, and it'll officially be 5 years since she passed. I would like to take a moment of silence for her and just thank you for being a wonderful influence and light in my life and showing me how to dance and make costumes, and you supported my artistic pursuits, and you're duly missed. And I know that up in heaven, you're doing great up there and shining extra light and love on the world, which is what we need right now. I'm having this great pleasure to be able to introduce some inspirations and talented female filmmakers that I look up to, and I know had a similar journey, and I really admire too, because they had comedic kind of upbringing. I love comedy. I studied sketch comedy at Second City, and I know Dawn and Jocelyn were at UCB. That's where they started. We've got Dawn Luebbe, like a ruby, and Jocelyn DeBoer, and they're award-winning writing and directing duo. I mean, you inspire me. I started really writing sketch comedies and kind of started with viral videos and music videos and really the short form content. And I feel like you guys have definitely mastered it. I should say, not you guys, you ladies, you gals have mastered it. And now I've been graduating to motion pictures and feature film development. And The Greener Grass, your first feature film, which was a Variety deemed the most pleasant surprise of this year's Sundance, following its 2019 world premiere. Their screenplay was nominated for an Independent Spirit Award, which, crazy small world, I had another fortunate opportunity and blessing. I've been volunteering with the Film Independent, organization, which is a nonprofit, and they've been giving back to independent filmmakers for a long time. And really, they're also an inspiration for the Independent Cinema Showcase, as I really hope to be able to give back and continue to support my fellow filmmakers and artists out there. And anyway, it was wild to meet Dawn and Jocelyn in Cleveland. And then I think we ran into each other again at another film festival in Los Angeles, and or maybe somewhere else. I mean, they traveled the world last year. I'm excited to really talk to them about it. And then here they are, up for an Independent Film Spirit Award. And I was fortunate to do stand-in work for Aubrey Plaza. She was the host this year, which is also crazy to think about, that this happened in February this year, before the pandemic, thank God. They looked fabulous too on the carpet, and it's gonna look backwards, but there they are in yellow, looking amazing. So Dawn and Jocelyn, it's been amazing to see your journey, and I'm excited to continue to share it, and I'm continuing. So obviously up for an Independent Spirit Award for their best first screenplay. In the US, Greener Grass was distributed theatrically by IFC and screened in over 100 theaters across the country. And I know that's why they were traveling all over the place and being fabulous. It's currently streaming on Hulu. Everybody, you got to check it out. It's internationally also premiered and has been an audience favorite. I mean, share what you've been up to.
I suppose in the midst of everything terrible going on, one small bright side for us is we've gotten the chance to really focus on our writing, which is about all you can do right now, filmmakers. And so we've been working on writing our next feature, and then we also have a couple of projects in the pipeline. There's a TV show that we're attached to direct the pilot of that we're working on, and we're also attached to a movie we didn't write that we're going to direct, and then another movie that we're executive producing. So we're kind of juggling those projects right now. But as Mary Rachel explained, we both have a comedy background, and we really got our start as filmmakers making short films. And we made 3 short films before we made our feature film, and we love, talking about that journey.
Jocelyn and I met back in, I want to say 2011. It's been a while. We were put on a house sketch team there together called Onassis, and we worked together on that team for probably 4 or 5 years, and then both kind of headed out to, that was in New York, and then we both moved out to LA around the same time in 2014. And I think the rest is history. Yeah, just started working together at that point as a team, and that was in 2015, made our first short, and just have been creating projects together ever since then.
And I don't know if this falls in line with anything any of you are interested in talking about, but I want to mention too that Dawn and I actually didn't direct 2 out of the 3 shorts we made. We didn't really think of ourselves as directors when we were doing sketch comedy together. We were actors who were excited about writing our own stuff, and then we hired friends of ours that did direct to direct our shorts. And we really learned so much working with them and observing the way that they worked, and especially sitting in on the edits of our short films. Our first short film that we made was Greener Grass, and the director of it early on got a job as directing videos at SNL. His name is Paul Briganti. He still does that. And so we kind of were handed the project to finish. And it was our first time ever being sitting with an editor, doing a sound mix, doing color, any of that. And
which the color's amazing in that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
We didn't rein it in. We'll say
that. Yeah, that is true.
It's like but eye candy.
That process, looking looking at all the technical aspects of directing, we were like, we don't know anything about that. But when we divided it into each little step, we were like, okay, we can do this. Okay, this is what this entails. We can do this. And that's when we really got the confidence to then direct our own work.
I'm curious too how you, I mean, because obviously you were studying comedy with, I'm sure, all kinds of amazing other talents and females. So, kind of what sparked really the, like, you knew you two could just really work together and empower each other, support each other, and your visions just kind of click.
It started out as a process of elimination. We were working with 3 other people and they all got jobs, and it was just the two.
It's true. I know.
Oh, good. Oh, now what do we do?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we had the least amount of work, and
Yeah.
I will say,
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Dawn. Yeah.
oh no, I was just gonna say early on when we were on the sketch team Onassis, there would at the beginning of each month we would pitch ideas for sketches to the writers, and then brainstorm with them. And from the very beginning, Jocelyn would come in with I don't know where these pitches came from, like the most unique, incredible ideas for sketches. And yeah, so I was always like, yes, Jocelyn, she's like a weirdo.
I felt the same about Dawn in the beginning, and it was I feel like we particularly bonded over this. We both love kind of dysfunctional families and especially dysfunctional women, and I think we love digging our claws into characters like that. And so a lot of Dawn's pitches were characters that were so interesting to me. But yeah, I wonder if any of you guys could relate to this. Dawn, you remember when we first made Greener Grass, our short film? Really, I think what inspired us the afternoon we sat down to write it is there were these 2 girls who are really talented writers who are much younger than us at UCB, like just starting the program when we were already on house teams. And they made this web series, which were popular at the time, like 5 years ago, where it was called Hot Mess Moves. And they were these, 20 to 30-second videos that were so simple. It was just like the 2 of them, one funny thing would happen, and we loved them. They would always show up on our Facebook feeds and everything. We were like, these little videos are great. And then we ran into them at a birthday party, and these 21-year-old girls were like, we just got hired to write for Younger on TV. And we were like, oh, that's interesting. And they were like, we've never written, pilots before or anything. They just saw this web series that we were making and wanted to hire us. And so Dawn and I, went to the gym together the next day, and we were like, should we try to make something like Hot Mess Moves? And that really is what inspired us to sit down and write Greener Grass, because we were like, what is something really simple we could shoot? We're typecasting ourselves as soccer moms. We're like 30-year-old women at the time.
That. And I love the tomboy in me was like, oh yes. It's just so many great layers.
It's funny because it's a show about competition, but a movie, but it was really born out of just a healthy competition.
Yeah.
And just, for the women that want to have it all. Like they want to have, a perfect life.
And we'll stop at nothing.
Right. Which would even.
But maybe have place of what having it all means.
Hi, Olivia.
Hey, Olivia.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
too.
Thank you for doing this. What would you say is the biggest challenge you're facing right now as a woman in the industry?
I feel like we have the types of projects we've been attaching to ourselves lately, and a lot of the things we're really drawn to have at the center of them a female protagonist who is kind of failing and flailing and a little bit polarizing in terms of perhaps not always the classiest or the most elegant or the sort of prototypical women that I think you like a lot of people like imagine being on screen. They're like these kind of layered or sometimes dark characters that have like a con woman element to them. And it's just like something I've been reflecting on, and I don't know that this is exactly a challenge, but one thing I think that feels like so novel is that when you look at like the history of male protagonists in movies and TV shows, all the time you have these like con men, gangsters, like really complex, dark, gritty characters, and that's just accepted. And there's like nothing to be sold or nothing to it's just like goes without saying that that like men can be portrayed that way, and people are excited for men to be portrayed that way on camera, on screen. And I just find it like interesting that like this feels like sort of a newer thing where these types of women protagonists are at the forefront, and getting people rallied around that and excited about that, and having the confidence that that type of project could be something worthwhile.
And you guys have all heard this before, but it's true with one of our female protagonists that like Donna's describing. People will say like she's just not likable though. Like, can we have a movie about someone who's not likable? And that's like exactly what you're talking about. We're like, yes, there's been a lot of them. They're mostly men.
I've also noticed that there's a lot of like, when there are female empowerment movies, they're usually like a masculine type of women, and like saying like in order to be powerful you have to be masculine or you have to act like a man. So I think it's great that you're trying to bring more dynamic.
That is so well said, and it's that you hit the nail on the head. It's not shaping the female leads around what we've seen in male heroes, but letting our female leads express the most disparaging of female traits.
What have you seen change positively in the industry, and like if you've seen that it's getting better?
I think optimistic in even this year now, in the midst of the important movements of bringing attention to Black voices specifically, and I feel like there's been more of an open conversation, thank God, around recognizing the talent of people who haven't gotten as many opportunities in the past. And we notice in the projects we're working on as producers and the projects we're attached to direct that that's very much in the conversations now. So people on the executive side seem to be motivated to give people opportunities, and it's something people are talking about on our projects, and of course like we're always trying to lead that conversation too. So that feels positive for sure.
What is your advice for young filmmakers, especially women like myself, going into the industry?
One thing that comes to mind is that our careers really started taking off when we actually made something, which is something we'd recommend for everyone to be able to have something that is your voice, that you're proud of and excited about, that you can show people, because until then your potential is, it's hard for people to tangibly feel it. And we of course made short films, but we're so impressed at people who make things that almost have no budget too, or things that people are shooting, like I was talking about Hot Mess Moves back in the day. You know, it's just these really simple things, like with barely any production design, that they just shot, and but then people were able to be like, oh, these people are talented. So that I think makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I feel like just in terms of like morale and like being encouraged, I feel like it's so important to find a community of some kind. And I think with Jocelyn and me, like our community was a little bit the non-traditional film route. It was out of the UCB and the comedy world. And but I think being around people that you like find inspiring, that are making things that you think about and that really challenge you.
Do you have any advice for filmmakers right now that are a bit discouraged and intimidated to share the stories that they still really believe in? And do you have any of your own?
You know, one of the things we've kind of learned, I feel like in the past couple of years, is that what happens to a script kind of professionally before it even goes out to be pitched is people package it. And you can do that yourselves with people that you know. So sometimes I think if you're kind of shy to get out there yourself with your project, or you don't feel like you have a lot of great connections, perhaps there's an actor that you know, for example, who has an agent and who likes you and likes your work and might be right for a part in your film. You can really get your project moving by saying, hey, would you want to be attached to my project? And this is something I want you to star in, and with the hope that maybe they can show it to their rep. Or another route that really can get things moving is a producer friend, and maybe not even a friend. Like, for example, we wanted to make The Arrival, the short you're about to watch, and we wrote our script, and then it's like, how do you make it? What we did is we thought, what was the best short we saw at South by Southwest last year when we were there? It was Jim Cummings' Thunder Road. We loved that short film. And so we DM'd him on Facebook, and we were like, oh, hi, we met you at a party at this, like, we're looking for a producer. And he gave us this producer he loved called Natalie Metzger, who we worked with on The Arrival. And then she also produced our feature Greener Grass. And that was all just from trying to put a little package together. So that can really help make things happen.
And I think when you're trying to do that, like if you, for example, are approaching an actor, that's it. The more like specific and clear you can be with your like letter to them, or email, probably an email or a DM or whatever, it, I think, goes a long way. Like, I think any actor wants to hear, I wrote this part for you. When I saw you in this moment, it resonated with me. Like, I think just like putting in a little bit of specificity.
I'm excited to hear that you guys are still working and definitely getting your hands in the industry and influencing, because we need you. As I encourage every artist out there, don't ever give up on your dreams, and do what you can to stay creatively motivated, have that spark still there, and, you know, try to think outside the box a little bit and see, you know, in a way how you can grow a supportive community of your own talented filmmakers. And, you know, you could be independently curating your own content. And we here as the cinema family want to help support those visions out there. We are very fortunate to be virtually available to everybody, and we want to continue to remain an outlet and resource to independent filmmakers that, you know, really don't know what to do right now, or just want a place to be and exist and join a family and a community that's still optimistic and supporting and empowering each other. So I definitely want to highlight See Alive, this platform. Thank you again for being a sponsor and supporting us. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. We've grown over the last 3 years. I launched the Independent Cinema Showcase about, wild to think about, 3 years ago, with officially launching a logo and a brand. It originally was just screening events for my short films, and I was renting a venue for several hours and playing like a 10 to 15 minute short film and realizing, what am I doing? I should block this out and maybe hit up some friends and showcase several films. So that is actually what kind of sparked this whole idea. And now we are this showcase, and we do 3 a year. I'm continuing to keep that theme. That's our mission. It's a seasonal thing. We try to do a spring, summer, and fall. And our amazing family of sponsors here, Simple DCP, we would not be able to do it without them, really, with taking the amazing films and converting them into a amazing tiny digital package so that they can play back to back, and it works on the commercial big screen theater at the Regal Cinema. So thank you, Simple DCP. They also give 20% off of the DCP price to our family of filmmakers. So that's another perk. If you join our family and share your vision with us, you will get a major discount on that DCP, and it will be forever archived so that you will never have to pay for a DCP again. Khaleesi Zawi Productions, sorry, I forgot to mention, obviously we are one of the founding sponsors, and I do what I can myself as a host and creative director and producer to keep these alive and to operate these events. Lightgear, they are really the mayor of lights in the industry. Very grateful to them. Paul Royalty, he's the CEO of that company. Really wonderful human being. Oh, Prime TV, they are a distribution platform. Sal is a very talented filmmaker himself. He started in the independent market. He really was kind of the spark and start actually of this online distribution marketing, and started kind of one of the first platforms for showcasing and really allowing filmmakers to monetize from their short films. So we love Sal. Another great gift of a sponsor we gained last year was Pete's Coffee. We really appreciate Pete's Coffee. They donated tea and coffee and some wonderful biscuit croissant treats for our lovely volunteers and staff day of the event. They are a wonderful sponsor of our raffle prizes too. They often contribute a gift that is given to our raffle winners. See Alive, another amazing sponsor. They've joined our family. Thank you again for being now really our virtual venue. We continue or plan to continue our partnership and experience with See Alive, as it's really a great opportunity for our international engagement and, to maybe still have an opportunity to stream and engage with people from afar. Surreal Studios, they are a big part of our day of events. They donate and provide a lot of our operational equipment. That cool CC logo in there is Chaz Cardigan. He is a very talented musician artist, actually. And even though, yes, we are a cinema family, we focus on filmmakers, but we still really are a family that supports the arts. And no good film would really be any film without an amazing composition, right? An amazing film score. So we definitely love to showcase our amazing musicians and other talented artists. So Chaz Cardigan has very generously donated a lot of his music to our promotional videos and video marketing. So thank you, Chaz Cardigan. iPitch TV, they recently joined us as well. They have offered also another opportunity for our family of filmmakers, a chance to pitch a new vision or film they have in mind to executives in the industry, and they waive the subscription fee. So thank you, iPitch TV. Then we have NoHo Copy Print. They are a North Hollywood-based printing company. They make these amazing flyers. We love and appreciate NoHo Copy Print. Aren't these fabulous? Yes. Chrysalis Pictures, they're our nonprofit fiscal sponsor. We are very grateful to them. Like I said, is a nonprofit that gives back to artists that create visions and films that give back to their communities. They focus on films that have a call to action and a real empowering, uplifting message. And they have a festival called Moving Parts Film Festival. Our final sponsor there in the corner is Sia Glafkidis. She is my mother, my Greek mitera. I really couldn't have done anything without her. She is a wonderful financial support and really has been also a big gift giver. She provides a lot of our raffle gift cards as well. So thank you, Sia. Thank you, Mom. In the theme of females again, we really appreciate all the amazing women out there. My Yaya Mary, she was a big influence in my life. She really is my main Greek roots, and she helped me come up with my film production company name, Khaleesi Zawi, which means it's a beautiful life. So let's continue to explore, discover, and find the wonderful beauty in the world. We as artists have a mission. We have a gift that God gave us, and we need to share it. So please share your vision with us.